Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced plans to visit all 5 Central Asian nations next year. He made this statement during a meeting with the foreign minister of C5 countries in Washington, D.C. earlier this week. Speaking at a reception at the State Department, Rubio emphasized that the interests of the United States and the region align, particularly in developing natural resources and diversifying the economies together. At the same time, Republican Senator James Rich said he intends to introduce a bill in the Congress to repeal the Cold War-era Jackson-Vanik Amendment, noting that Central Asia has not received the attention it deserves from Washington.
Our national interests are aligned. From our perspective, we are looking for opportunities for American innovation and American business and American products to expand to more markets and more places, because we think that creates stronger ties between countries. From your perspective, you are looking to take the resources, both your people and natural resources, that God has blessed your nations with, and turn them into responsible development that allow you to diversify your economies. And I think it's an exciting opportunity and a new era in our relationship in Central Asia.
Central Asian countries have been stepping up the international engagement this week, taking part in Washington's C5+1 summit, strengthening partnerships and expanding cooperation beyond the region. To break down Central Asia's big stories this week, we are joined by political analyst Vijay Shegarbayev.
Thank you, Nurbek. It's a pleasure to join you and share some insights.
Likewise, Vijay. So let's dive right in. What did you find most noteworthy about Central Asia's diplomatic activities this week?
Well, Nurbek, several major developments really stood out. The region has seen both high-level meetings and symbolic visits that reflect Central Asia's growing visibility on the global stage. So, the Central Asian countries continue to actively develop the Central Asia Plus cooperation format. Earlier in this week, the Chinese city of Qingdao hosted the second meeting of the Central Asia-China Political Parties Dialogue under the topic Advancing Common Modernization Through High-Quality Development, Political Parties in Action. The event brought together around 150 participants, including leaders of more than 20 political parties from the 5 Central Asian countries and China. One of the key topics discussed was environmental governance. Participants emphasized that no country today can tackle down environmental challenges alone. Leaders of political parties underlined that ecological threats know no borders and require coordinated joint actions. They also highlighted that active exchanges of experience and the collective search for effective solutions are particularly vital in today's interconnected world. Another issue that drew considerable attention was the acceleration of green economy development. Overall, it should be noted that beyond intra-Central Asian cooperation, the Central Asia plus China format is one of the most institutionalized frameworks of the engagement. For instance, back in March last year, the Central Asia Plus Secretariat Office was established in Xi'an city of China, and a wide range of thematic meetings, such as those focused on trade and legal cooperation, are now held on a regular basis. Ahead of the C5+1 summit with the United States, the leaders of Central Asian countries participated in a series of major international summits. For instance, President of Uzbekistan, Mr. Shavkat Mirziyoyev, attended the World Summit on Social Development, which was held in Doha, the capital of Qatar. During his address, President Mirziyoyev proposed the establishment of a global fund for social justice. According to him, this new mechanism would provide practical assistance to countries in their fight against poverty. He noted that Uzbekistan has successfully reduced the poverty rate from 35% to 6.6% in recent years, a more than five-fold decrease, and emphasized that reforms in this area will continue. At the same time, he called for greater international cooperation to address global social challenges and underscored the importance of adopting modern mechanisms to tackle down employment issues. He pointed out that the rapid development of high technologies and artificial intelligence is leading to the loss of millions of jobs, highlighting the need for stronger cooperation among governments, businesses, and civil society to support workers. Additionally, the President of Uzbekistan proposed to hold the next Global Alliance Forum on combating hunger and poverty in Uzbekistan. Continuing with the World Summit on Social Development, President of Tajikistan, Mr. Emomali Rahmon, also took part in this event. In his speech, he emphasized that social well-being is a foundation for peace, stability and sustainable development. He noted that Tajikistan is currently implementing the national strategy for the development of social protection until 2040, aimed at further strengthening the country's social sector. President Rahmon also underlined the need for decisive measures to improve access to vulnerable countries to financial resources and ensure sustainable financing, particularly for social services and climate adaptation projects. In addition to the summit, President Rahmon held bilateral meetings with Emir of the State of Qatar and several major companies. The discussions focused on Qatari investments in Tajikistan's hydropower projects and the development of renewable energy in the country. Cooperation in labor, migration, culture, science, education and tourism was also discussed. In addition to his meeting with the Qatari Emir, President Rahmon also held discussions with Pakistan's President, Mr. Asif Ali Zardari. The two leaders discussed the development of a strategic partnership and agreed to establish a strategic dialogue council to strengthen bilateral cooperation. Meanwhile, President of Kyrgyzstan, Mr. Sadir Japarov, made an official visit to the Arab Republic of Egypt earlier this week at the invitation of President Mr. Abdel Fattah el-Sisi. During the visit, President Japarov held high-level talks with President el-Sisi, where they discussed current issues of bilateral cooperation and exchanged views on regional and international agendas. Following the negotiations, a number of bilateral documents were signed in the fields of economy, agriculture, investments, energy and healthcare, laying the foundation for the further development of Kyrgyz-Egyptian relations. And it's important to note that this marks the first official visit to Egypt in the history of Kyrgyz-Egyptian relations. At the same time, Tajikistan is becoming a venue for a contest of the brightest young minds in maths. From November 5 to 10, Dushanbe is hosting the Omar Khayyam International Mathematics and Informatics Olympiad. This event brings together students from CIS countries and across all Eurasian continent, who will showcase their knowledge and skills in the exact sciences, including maths and computer sciences. The Olympiad is named after Omar Khayyam, the world-renowned scholar, philosopher, poet, and thinker who made groundbreaking contributions to algebra, astronomy, and philosophy. Well, that's it for today. Nurbek, giving the floor back to you.
Thank you, Ajit, for your highlights of this week. We'll be back with other news in a few seconds.